Welcome to Late Night Love. My name is Don Amici, and you know the drill. Next 2 hours, we're going to be talking about love, relationships, and we're going to be taking your calls over Zoom. There is a QR code that's going to pop up on the screen, and you can scan it with your phone and join into the conversation. It's very simple. All right, all you got to do is scan it, get on the Zoom. You don't have to show your face, but you know what? It's good if you do. All right, video or audio, or jump over to our YouTube page, Late Night Love on YouTube. There's a link there. You can jump into the chat. With me today, Successful Brem, who is just moments away from getting that PhD. She's also the co-host on 93.5 K-Day here in Los Angeles. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be back. It's Friday. We lit.
We are lit. Yeah, we are. It's litty. We are
Yeah,
litty.
you were playing all the tunes before to get the vibes going.
Well, you told me that nobody plays Usher. Yeah, if they want to get the party going, they play Sexy Red Birthday.
You said if you want to get the party going, so.
Well, that's, you play with ratchet music is what we do it here.
I love me some ratchet.
We're going to be talking about relationships and love over the next couple of hours, and we invite you into the conversation. So jump on in. We're here Monday through Friday from 9 until 11. Let's get to our first guest tonight, who is an author and educator, Christelyn Kazarin, who is Karazin. I'm sorry, Christelyn Kazarin. Who has long been an advocate of intermarriage for Black women. Here's her sample of her message.
Black women, we know what the issues are. We know we outnumber Black men by the millions. We know we have a specific group of relationship challenges that cause us to have to make certain decisions about relationships. So expanding your options just makes common sense. But we never really talked about what group of men is the most amenable to interracial relationships. I knew the whole time that it was white men. And the results play that out. Also, when I see the wedding videos and people who write to me, the majority of the time, the Black women who follow me, who write back and say, I've had this great experience. I dated and I married a guy. The guy is usually white. That's just the way it is. But we haven't really explored why other minority men may have an issue with dating, particularly Black women.
All right, standing by live in Temecula, California is Christelyn Kazarin, author of Swirling, How to Date, Mate, and Relate, Mixing Race, Culture, and Creed. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, you guys. Thank you for having me.
So you wrote the book in 2012, and there's been some updates, I hear, right?
Yes. There have definitely been some updates.
So tell me about the updates, and does this message still hold true to today?
Well, the news is mixed, I will have to say. When I started doing research for this book, the interracial marriage rate for Black women was around 9%. And the Census Bureau started keeping track in the 80s, and that number had stayed steady. And so going into writing the book and doing the research, I had to see what the numbers were. And there wasn't a lot of movement there. I was inspired to write the book because I'd married a white guy. And you would not believe how many Black women came up to me at the time and were like, girl, how did you do that? I've been told my whole life, they don't marry us, they lock us in the basement. They we mess with them, we end up on the side of milk cartons. So I thought, listen, seeing that my sisters were going through relationship challenges, and even realizing them myself, like I'm an LA girl. You guys are out there in LA. I was born in Los Angeles. I was raised in Lancaster. Don't hold it against me.
I won't.
LA.
It's okay. It's LA. Listen, it's Southern California. I'm not gonna hold it. It's LA County, okay?
Yeah, it's still LA County,
Yeah.
yes. And went to Loyola, so I went back to LA. And LA is probably one of the worst places to find lasting relationships, I think, regardless.
It's hard. It's hard. It's a lot of transplants out here, but it's hard.
Yeah, nobody wants to get married. Everybody wants to be fly. Everybody, and like we don't even need to go into the layers of the Black love dynamics in LA, because there's a lot of colorism here, and so these are all things that I'd realized, and I was like, okay, so these are the obstacles that I'm seeing. I need to move around them if I have certain goals. I'm not just going to be begging. So I went to see what was out there, and there was this interest bubbling over. And at the time when the book came out, it come out exactly the right time. And so what has happened since the book's been published in 2012? Well, the number 9% of Black women in intermarriage has gone up 12%. That was in 2015. It's gone up even more than that. That's a 33% increase in the 3 years, the time the book was published, when Pew Research came out with the study 3 years later. So that's really kind of huge, considering that prior to that, those numbers had been steady for over 2 generations.
Yeah, that is huge. Have you yourself put together an interracial marriage?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear about that.
Okay, this one is so cute, you guys. It's such a sweet story. So 2 law school students, I think he was probably a little bit, maybe he's an older millennial guy, or maybe young Gen X, but he'd bought my book and followed me on social media and just said hello, or somehow tried to connect with me. And so when he did, he told me his story. He said, I bought your book because I'd gone to law school with a Black woman who I really, really liked. But at the time when I was in law school, society, my family, whatever, it didn't seem like it was something that I could do. Like,
he was a white guy?
Yes, I didn't think it was allowed. And so he went on to marry a white woman. They had a couple kids, and that marriage kind of was a disaster. But after he divorced, he decided that he would revisit that situation, because he had kept seeing the lost student at different lawyers events and things like that. And he'd always try to spark up a conversation with her. But after reading the book, he learned how to talk to Black women so we could understand that he was actually interested. Because I was like, look, Black women are used to a certain type of overture. And you guys come up to us and like, oh, you have pretty nails, or I like your shoes. And like, thanks. But we're not thinking, oh, this guy is
right,
into me.
He's interested. Yeah.
Exactly. So after reading the book, he decided to finally kind of corner her and say, hey, I like you. She didn't know. She was like, I didn't know. I didn't think he was interested. She was kind of shocked when he'd finally formally asked her out. So fast forward, they get married, and they're the happy parents of twins.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So, yes. And I've also been to a few weddings, which have been amazing. It's really gratifying.
Oh, you're in the perfect place for weddings out there in wine country.
Yes.
Are Black women still outnumbering Black men and need white husbands today?
Need.
Interesting framing of the question. You know, I sometimes wonder myself, because let me ask you guys, do you know what the percentage of Black women who are currently married right now?
I don't.
No.
26%.
Okay.
So that means that if we were in a crowd of people, you could throw a rock. If you hit a Black woman, chances are 80% almost that
not married.
She wouldn't be married. And I remember back in, I think it was the early 2000s, there was this whole, I don't know if you guys remember, it was, I think the major news shows had done, Black women are single, 41% of Black women are single. And it was like this huge thing. I think Katie Couric did something about it. We were all wringing our hands about it. And I think at some point, Black women just said, I don't care. They got their person, was getting ready to walk out. Like, I don't know if marriage is really that important. I think that's disappointing. I don't know if they don't prioritize marriage, or if they are not finding the amount of quality mates. I think I would still say that the vast majority of Black women still do want to be paired with Black men.
Yeah.
But only 26% of Black women are married. So if you're one of those, almost 80% of Black women who want to get married, it just seems smart that you open your options to everybody.
Well, I think a
mean,
lot of black women are looking for a certain type of man, and that they may not be finding them because they have expectations that black men at this generation may not be able to meet,
What's
given
the
their education requirements or
Mm.
financial requirements, and just because black men are not going to college, and just because of where black men are at right now. Did
Well,
you? Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think that we're looking for you to have gone to college. Times
You
have
guys
changed.
black men need to be 7 feet tall. They need to make $3 million a year.
No, that is not.
I need to have a Ferrari, a Bentley, and a Maybach.
I had to interject because I can't let you put that on us.
Well, this is coming from you guys. This is what we see on the internet.
That is not true. That is not true.
I gotta have a fish tank in the ceiling.
We just want somebody who is also driven and as hardworking as we are.
That sounds like a regular man.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. Did you get any blowback from I guess the black community that you're dating a white guy, and that maybe this white guy might be fetishizing you? That you might just be like a toy of a white,
the blowback enough to blow off my wig, her wig, and a whole line of black women with the wig that blow the wigs all off. Yes, like a tornado.
How did you deal with that?
Not always well. There are some people who really have some strong opinions about it. So there are people who honestly just want to see our people love each other, be with each other, build strong families together. And I am for that too. I really am. But at 26%, if you, as a black woman, those are not good odds, right? But I find that the community has a little trouble. They kind of want black women to still keep trying. But here's the thing. You guys have mentioned it yourself, that black women are advancing at levels and their expectations are higher. And so as your expectations get higher, the air gets thinner and thinner and thinner.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have 8 professional, marriageable black women and like 2.5 black guys at that level. And you know what that does when there's a sense of scarcity. When there's a sense of scarcity, then the dynamics change. And then the leverage is all on the other gender. And so there's not a lot of negotiating that can happen if you've got 8 women competing for the 2.5 guys.
Well, maybe not have so much
expectation. It's like what you said earlier, 7 feet tall, goldfish ceiling, all of those things.
Well, do you think maybe not have so much expectation then, and just maybe just go for the guy that just is a normal guy, maybe? Or is that not realistic?
I think that social media has really messed things up for a lot of us. Like, I thank God that I have found my partner before it was too late, because the horror stories that I'm hearing about with just being online in general just sound horrendous. And so people are just struggling in general, and this is going across race, and particularly men are struggling. And I feel like putting all these restrictions on yourself, that they have to be this, and that, in a world where we're not even going outside. Like, there used to be a third place. Like, you guys remember Cheers? Like, it would be, you go to work, you go to home, but there would be a third place.
Like at the bar. You go hang out with your friends.
You would hang out with your friends, and we don't have, our third place is this, right? So you're making very superficial connections with people, but you're not going deeply. And I think as we move forward into this, and the way that social media has alienated us from each other, I think it's just making everything worse. So it's a combination of everything. So it's a blowback of people who just, and it's also political. So
I wanted to also ask you, what do you feel about black men dating and marrying other races? Do you think that plays a part in the low percentage of black women being married?
Or is that okay? Is it okay?
I think it's okay. I mean, I couldn't, when I started this work, I knew I couldn't come into the position of saying what's for me is not right for me. So I always had to kind of have that attitude. But I'm Gen X. When I was in high school, like it was such a thing for the Black guys to date, especially if they were athletes, to date women who, girls who aren't Black. We just kind of got used to it. I remember there used to be Ebony and Essence articles about these Black men, they marrying the white women's. Oh, what are we gonna do? And the Black men just kept doing what they wanted to do. And no amount of complaining was going to stop them from doing what they wanted to do. I am not in the business of trying to control the behaviors of other people, but I will look at your behaviors and I will move around them. And that's what I recommend women do as well. So I don't understand loyalty. You're going to be sitting here complaining the whole time. Why?
Listen, I'm all about trying to be happy at the end of the day. You created an online course, The Pink Pill. Tell us about The Pink Pill.
Okay, so The Pink Pill came about because Swirling the book became so popular, and I had this group of women who were like, how did you do this? I don't feel comfortable navigating navigating in different spaces, talking to people outside of my comfort zone. So it started with me creating a course about everything I'd learned about being around people who were not from the same community and culture. Like, what are some of the things you may expect? How can you prepare for them? You would be shocked at how much we don't actually know from a cultural perspective that we may think we know, but I'm sharing my experiences, I'm coaching. And then later on, I went to finishing school.
That's beautiful.
And I got my certification as a business etiquette and protocol consultant. And I created the Pink Pill for Business, which is the first business etiquette finishing course specifically for Black women, like what to expect when you go into the workplace and navigating all of the things.
So how does your husband feel about your work?
Okay. So, so when I published my book, I was married, and I was married for 20 years. We've since divorced. Our kids are grown, and I'm engaged.
Uh-oh.
Is he white?
Yeah, he is. Yes, he's white.
Oh, all right.
And he's been very supportive of everything. Like, I'm the first Black woman he's ever seriously dated, and he's been very impressed, and he's learned a lot and been very curious and empathetic about Black women and what we go through. He's learned a lot.
So were you looking to marry another white man, or did it just happen that way?
Listen, let me tell you something. I'm the type of person, I go where the love is.
Yeah.
I go with if I'm over here and it's like, you are beautiful, you are smart, you are worthy, and I don't have to compete with 7 other women, and I can say hey, I'm dating for marriage and this is what I want. And him saying, okay, I can see that with you. Let's walk this road together. I'm going where I'm getting that.
You better go where you celebrate it, not tolerate it. You know what I'm saying?
So you wasn't getting that from Black men?
No, they're not really. No. I mean, we could go into the reasons why, but it's not really, because it would sound like I'm being bitter or something.
No. Listen, you looking for your happiness, and I'm totally all about that. At the end of the day, you are looking for your happiness, and you found it. And kudos for you. At the end of the day, we got to run. Where can they find your course, and where can they find more information about you and getting on with the swirl? That's what I'm talking about.
Well, the book's still available on Amazon. If you guys are interested in the courses, there are actually 3. The original Pink Pill, the Pink Pill for College for some of you young girls, and the Pink Pill for Business. It's getpinkpill.com. And you guys, me and my partner just launched a YouTube channel called Boomers and Xers. He's a boomer, I'm an Xer, and we're trying to figure out how we can all get along right now, figuring out culture, politics. It's a fun channel, and I hope that the people who are following me will check that out as well.
All right. Listen, Christelyn, thank you so much. And I know as a boomer and an Xer, the world is getting crazy. Trust me, I know.
It is getting, I don't even recognize it.
Trust me, I know. Thank you so much, and good luck with everything out there. And we'll be back more Late Night Love when we come forward.
All right. Bye. Thank
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time.
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
Like, it's a spiritual moment.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
I'm done. Just for questions for. I just know what difference was like with black and white. What did she? What was the nuance? And did she have a? How did she feel with the difference?
The difference
between dating a black guy and a white guy.
Yeah, I wanted to know that too. Like, what did she like about the black guy that she didn't see in the white guy, and vice versa?
Yeah, very interesting. All right, you can join the show by clicking or scanning the QR code right there on the corner of the screen and join the conversation. If you got any questions you want to add to the conversation, you can also go to our YouTube page, Late Night Love on YouTube. You can join the chat. Last night we had an HBCU fraternity classmate of yours on from Howard talking about the nearly 2-to-1 female to male ratio at HBCUs. Poster Nia Talk on YouTube tells this story about an older man coming to campus fishing for co-eds.
Wow.
But basically, I saw a photo where he went to Howard University, so I was like, oh, it looks like, because he had a sweatshirt, I was like, you went to Howard, explain that, because I explained my educational background. And he's like, I don't go to Howard. And then he was like, do you want to know the real answer? Do you want to know the real answer? I'm like, okay, tell me the real answer. He goes, I'm going to go fishing. What do you mean you're going fishing? That's disgusting. So I already put it together, and I'm like, this man is telling me as a 26-year-old black man, he is going to these homecomings. They're called homecomings. Y'all can write it in the comment, educate me about it, tell me more about it, but I have a clue of what they are. I'm a college student, I get it. But I know in black universities, it's more intense. It's more of a hub. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but write it in the comments, y'all know what it is. So this 26-year-old Nigerian man is going to these homecomings with, mind you, 17, 18, 19-year-old girls.
All right, joining us live from Los Angeles is Anaya Hall, a recent graduate of Howard and a member of a sorority. Let me see if I can guess what sorority you're from. Were you in a sorority? I was going to say, if I had to guess, I would have thought you might have been a Delta, but
she is an MPN intern. That's my nonprofit, the
okay.
Minority
All
Psychology
right, look at
Network.
you. Go ahead, girl. Hey, man, Anaya, did you ever see men come into Howard to take advantage of the numbers out there?
Yes, all the time. All the time.
Wait, so how did that?
I heard all the time.
How did that work though? Like, did they try to blend in with the college students? 'Cause that's something I would do.
Honestly, I feel like it's a lot easier than people think it is for them to blend in with us. And half the time they won't ask questions. And if you press too hard about, oh, what classes do you take? That's when they're like, I That's no back away and stop.
I'm in shop.
Did that ever happen to you or your friends?
Yeah, actually, our junior year homecoming, I almost got fished, but I was with my best friend, and we both realized very quickly he did not go.
Well, what's wrong with a guy going there trying
It's creepy. He's a perv.
Wait. Everybody's a consenting adult. These are all adults, right?
Not when you're pretending.
Age matters, and honestly, not anymore, really. When you go to college, the first 2 years, you're more likely to be 18, 19 years old. And for me, if you're still a teenager, you're not really an adult.
Yeah. And then you got to keep in mind they're pretending to be students there too. That's like the creepy part also.
That is a little that's a little mean. But if I just, if I'm just
creepy.
If I'm just walking around and with a book bag.
Mid-20s. For me, I was raised to be very questionable, and so I will ask questions why at 24, 25, 26, when you should be out of college, you are still in college looking for a girl younger than you, because that's my concern.
Okay. All right.
How was it dating for you on campus, Anaya?
I only ever had one relationship there, and it was not a student. I dated a local in DC, and they were not too much older. They were still like college age. They just didn't go.
Was there not enough guys on campus for you to date? What's going on?
No. Howard is 75% female. And then when you break it down even further to the 25% guys that are there, a lot of them are also most likely gay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why do I get Howard?
It's more likely that you're going to see a lesbian couple on Howard's campus than you are going to see a guy and a girl. And if you do see a guy and a girl, he usually has 4 other girlfriends.
So it's weird. I get this impression that Howard, it would be more men would be at Howard, because isn't Clark Atlanta? Was it Clark Atlanta the female school out there?
Morehouse.
No, they're in different.
Or Morehouse. Oh,
yeah,
Morehouse.
Morehouse is males.
Yeah. Oh, Morehouse is the male.
Spelman is
and Spelman.
female.
Spelman. Well, okay. Wow. Well,
so they had like 4 girlfriends, you would say. So did any of your friends get caught up in that mix, being one of the girlfriends?
None of us dated on campus. We used apps like Tinder and Hinge and dated in the local area because we specifically avoided men on campus because they had such a bad reputation.
Well, now, were there older students there on campus?
A few, but not many.
I feel like you're discriminating against elderly people who want to continue an education and maybe date at the same time too.
The year I graduated, we had an 84-year-old graduate, so we had a bunch of different ages, but it was still mostly concentrated between like 18 and 22.
18 and 22. So if a guy wants to come date some college people.
That is even how you're saying it. It is so weird, wrong, and creepy.
Okay, so I can't come.
You're coming there to be like, I want to pick out a college girl.
Well, let's say let's say I want to get a bite to eat at the cafeteria.
Why do you want to do that?
Because
at your big age?
Because the food is good at the cafeteria.
The food is not good, so I would know your life.
Or maybe I want to go to the campus Starbucks. Right? Get
you
some
could go
coffee.
to the graduate school. The graduate school is right there.
And I just happen to see you there, and I'm like, hey.
The graduate campuses are right there.
How you doing? What's your name? I'm Don.
Wow.
Would you like to? Can I buy you a coffee?
And that's what I would tell you. No.
I'm headed over to the communications school. Can I walk you somewhere?
I would say hello, and that's about it.
Oh, okay. All right. No, it is creepy though. I do think.
You already said how you felt.
No, I do think it is creepy though that that guys would pretend to. And well, I mean, did this happen? Did women try to do this to guys though?
I've never heard of that.
I'm not going to say they don't, but I've never seen it.
Okay. I mean, we got to be fair. I mean, you don't know what's going on out there. But I do find it very creepy that guys would try to pick up, especially on young, impressionable women that are just probably getting out of high school, going to college, don't really understand that they're
being preyed on.
Yeah, because who knows where they're coming from? Maybe small town America. They don't know. They're in the big city. They don't know what to expect, and it's kind of like fresh meat.
Yeah.
Did they not have any like when you got to Howard? Did they not have any type of like orientation that says, "Hey, watch out for these things at the school. People may come. It's an open campus. People may come to school."
When I went,
It
we
was
did
more
have
of
an
we had
orientation.
other students looked out for other students, and that was about it. Like if someone found a creep, we would blast them on our Howard social medias, and everybody would know.
Okay, so there was a sense of community of everybody watching out for. Are you concerned about the lack of black men on college campuses now, or at least at Howard?
Very concerned. As someone who does like to date for marriage, I have chosen to really just be single for the most part because I would really like to have black love, and I'm really determined on that. And it's really saddening for me to see that black men aren't choosing, even if it's not college, like a trade school, some kind of actual useful route.
Well, how is the dating going for you right now? I mean, is it not? Is this hookup culture for you right now?
I'm completely single right now. After graduating, I moved back to my home state, so I'm actually in the Midwest right now.
Okay.
And dating in the Midwest is not for me.
What state are you in the Midwest?
I am in Colorado.
Colorado.
You got prime time in there, Coach Sanders.
We got some fun stuff, and it's really pretty nature. But dating wise, if you're not really looking to date outside of the black race, then it's not really prevalent for me. It's not helpful.
Yeah. Did you see Christelyn that we had on the segment before you? What did you think about that? As far as
I've always had mixed feelings about it because I definitely agree with go where the love is, but I'm also like, there's so many different historical contexts that I'm like, there is more issue in my mind dating a white person than any other race.
Just because of the story, would you be open to like just maybe try it?
I have.
Oh, you have?
Oh, okay.
I've sworn off of it because they treated me horribly worse than.
Tell me what happened. Like it's just.
The one and only full white guy that I dated was like middle high school, and he did the fishing thing except on the high school level, and I didn't catch it then, and it was just a very toxic, unhealthy relationship. He tried to separate me from friends and family. He was trying to convince me to go to a college here so he could stay closer to me more often.
What is going on with this generation? I tell you, it's just a lot of toxicity.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of issues with individuality and like that clashing with the ability to be empathetic and kind to other people.
It's just very like, that's very selfish that I want you to go to a college just so you can stay close to me.
Yeah. And that doesn't sound like a black or white thing. That just sounds like somebody who actually needs help.
Because of that, I just made the choice that I was like, I don't want to.
Successful. Are you concerned about the lack of black men in college for the community at large?
No, I mean, I honestly have come to the conclusion that, you don't necessarily have to go to college if you know what you want to do. So people who want to go to college because they have like I'm studying psychology. If they want to, get a degree in that, then that makes sense. If you want to work in, as an electrician, get a trade like that. So I really don't feel a certain way about going to college. You just got to have a plan and know how to execute your plan.
But what about the black women want the black men, and then they want the educated black men, and then, the black men aren't going to college, and then,
Well, I mean, that's when you got to see, like, times have changed. There's other ways that people are elevating, in life. So you can't just put everything in one basket.
I would kind of say that educated doesn't necessarily just mean college anymore.
Exactly.
I need you to be able to have an intellectual conversation and have the compassion to be able to work with me and grow with me. And that, then I feel like you're uneducated.
From the chat, Chris P, it's wild that black females are still supporting and promoting swirling. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you're getting a lot of blowback after that's successful. All right, Anaya. Well, listen. Thank you for surviving that horrible experience over at Howard.
It was not horrible.
And you keep the good fight, looking for the black man in Colorado, and thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
Like Successful said, I'm going to go out there and tell black men to do better.
Wow, Anaya, thank you so much.
All right, more late night love when we come forward.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And you interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfies. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Welcome back to Late Night Love. I'm Don Amici with Successful Brim, and you can join the show. It's just very simple. QR code right there in the corner. Jump into the Zoom with video or audio, or join the chat, which I see everybody is in.
Yeah, they're in the chat.
Wow. On the podcast, tonight's conversation, Dr. Sarah Fontenot breaks down how a masculine man should handle it when his woman is feeling insecure.
Uh-oh.
A masculine man needs to know when to come into his feminine to pull his girl out of the fit that she may be in. And a lot of the times what men do, period, is if a woman gets into a tiff, because we have to remember, masculinity keeps track. Oh, I've showed up every day. I told her I loved her yesterday, today, this morning. You think you're doing a good job. But that one time you didn't say I love you on the phone, we're over here like, damn, does he love me? Like, and that's just a natural thing, by the way. People could say, well, she's insecure. You can say whatever you want to say. Why does a baby cry? Why does a dog howl? Why does the sun come up in the east and go down in the west? It's just the way that it is, and we get to emotionally regulate that. But oftentimes, what do men do? Men say, well, why are you so upset? What did I do wrong? Don't you see that I did? Now you're trying to run off the track record, not realizing that femininity lives in the now. How do I feel right now? And if you can't come to say, oh, damn, baby, you know, you're right. I meant to say that I love you. I don't even, then she can come out of the fit and get away from the wrath and come back into flow of,
that's passive aggressive.
No, it's because we're looking at patterns. Why are we looking at patterns? Because we're checking for safety.
Yeah, I think the problem is that men are like tired of like always having to
put in the work in a relationship.
Put in the work. No, not put in the work, but always having. Sometimes it feels like I always have to kind of coddle you all the time, and that can be exhausting. I always have to kind of like check and make sure you're always secure and you're okay. And there may be some
provide safety.
Yeah, there may be some
emotionally intelligent.
Well, It becomes a chore if it's all the time, and there may be work on your part that you need to do. It's not a problem that if in the moment I need to make sure that you're okay and that you're feeling safe, and to reassure you and tell you, baby, I love you, I'm here, are you okay? And in that moment, to reassure you everything's fine. But if that keeps happening over and over and over and over and over, it can be exhausting for a man, to where it's like, how many times do I got to keep doing this? To where I feel like this emotional nurse who you're relying on to medicate your emotions over and over and over again, and I never get a chance to relax because I'm tending to your emotions on a consistent basis.
I just think it's not considered a chore when you are really invested into your relationship and you are providing that emotional security, and you're also giving that reassurance, because you may have a partner that requires reassurance, and it could come from whatever you guys have maybe dealt with in your relationship. Because if you have a partner who continuously needs that reassurance, maybe you guys are working through infidelity, maybe you guys are working through some type of hardships that you've gotten through as a couple, and that is why that is coming up continuously.
No, that's one thing. That's one thing. That's perfectly all right. That's an issue that you're working through. But if you constantly need reassurance because you're just generally insecure as a state of being, is what I'm talking about. Like, you're just insecure because that's who you are.
I just think that that's something that could be argued, only because what is your definition of insecure? Because a lot of people like to throw around that insecure word when they don't understand how to get to know your partner, and you have to know
I'll give you an example.
their wants and their needs.
I'll give you an example. We have a producer, Brooke. I go talk to Brooke, and you get insecure because, why are you talking to Brooke?
I thought we was having a real conversation here.
We're talking.
I thought we were.
We're having a real
Okay.
conversation. This is a real conversation. This is a real conversation in a real scenario.
So I'm insecure because you go talk to the producer?
It's a woman.
I don't understand the scenario.
You cannot fathom in your head, right? Because that's not you, right? But there are some women who will who are insecure if their man goes and talks to another woman.
I think that's deeper rooted issues, because going to go talk to somebody.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Well, then that's when therapy comes into play.
Then that's what I'm talking about.
And
That's the
when
point.
you understand your partner and you know, okay, this is something that my partner is dealing with, and you want to stick by your partner, then you work through that with them, and you are patient and you're loving and you're kind. You're not making them feel like they are at fault for something that they are having to work through.
Right. And if they're working, and that's what I said, if there's a deeper issue, if their state of being is just in insecurity, they need to go seek some therapy out and work on that.
And then you have to work on it together, because
Absolutely.
if you decide to stay in that type of relationship, then you
absolutely
know
with
what
you.
comes with
I'm 100% with you. But you also got to understand that it can tax your man emotionally of being there, constantly being there. Because what you're saying, right, if we're working through infidelity, if we're working through an issue, I need to be there for you to let you know it's okay. We're going to work through this problem together. But I cannot also be this emotional medication for you every time you're feeling insecure, because then that wears me down.
Right. You don't want to wear your partner down or yourself down.
Let's go to Carl on the line. Carl, hi.
Hello, it is Carl.
Hi, Carl.
Hi.
Hi. I hope you guys are having a good night. Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
I'm having a great night, but I have a very big problem.
What's that?
Now, they're not my in-laws yet. I'm dating this girl, and her parents and her family, well, to put it bluntly, they think I'm gay.
Okay.
And
Are
you? Huh?
Are you?
No, I'm dating this woman.
Okay. Well, I just had to ask.
I experimented with some men in college, but no, suffice to say, I am straight.
Okay.
Does she know that?
She does know that. It's just, I'm from the city, and they're a very rural community. And, the way I dress, the way I act, they just write it off as gay. And I'm really trying to propose to her in the next few weeks, hopefully.
Okay.
I've been ring shopping and stuff, but I need to get this squared away first. I need I've told them I'm not gay, but like they adamantly think this. I don't know what to do.
Well, what are you doing though? What are you doing that makes you think you?
I don't think what are you doing? I think why do you care so much about her family's opinion? Because maybe because it sounds like this is really bothering him.
But it's the family. He wants to be accepted by the girlfriend's family. Who,
right. So
you don't want to be rejected by your girlfriend's family.
Yeah, you don't want to change who you are either just to appease them. So why do you care so much about them thinking that you're gay?
I think I think what you need to do is
Can he answer the question?
No, I think at the end of the day, what you need to do, what you need to do is basically focus on your relationship. Don't worry about the family, and stay focused and stay plugged into your relationship with your girl, and hopefully it'll work itself out at the end.
What kind of advice is that?
At the end of the day. All right, some people are opting out of marriage, choosing a more spiritual connection without the paperwork, but poster Coco Meek says you can opt out of the marriage, but recommends this contract instead.
Never suggest to any woman to live with a man, but if you're going to do it anyway, or at least have him paying for your apartment, I suggest you have a cohabitation agreement in place. My beau and I have a contractual agreement that even though he pays for everything, gas, the car insurance, the car note, the apartment, the groceries, the bill, the water, even though he pays for all of it, we have a cohabitation agreement that it's rightfully mine. So our agreement basically states that even though this is mine, he is financially responsible for all of it. And should he ever get haughty and feel like, I want to take it away from you, or I'm going to just stop paying, he's financially responsible for that. If we don't work out and he's like, I want you out of here, then he is financially responsible for that too. My moving fees, my first and last month deposit for the new apartment, and any other costs that I might incur for the next 3 months post-move.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that, but when did men become responsible for your life?
No, that is not what she's saying
What
all.
is she saying?
She's saying that they have made an agreement as a couple that he was going to be financially taking care of their household as the provider.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do decide, or he decides he doesn't want her there anymore because he is taking care of the bills, then he's going to make sure that she is okay for the next 3 months so she can get on her feet.
Once again,
they have decided together.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say, and she didn't say, oh, you're taking care of my life.
That's what it sounds like. No. I'm taking care of your life. Like, why do I got to take care of your life? Like, what happened to 50-50?
Wow. Don, you don't even do 50-50.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, can we bring 50-50 back?
Really?
I don't think it was ever a thing, but
So
do you do 50-50?
No, why would I'm married.
Right, but according to you, women are making more money than the men now, and I'm pretty sure you're making.
Said that?
What? That's the statistics, and you're the PA. You're about to be Dr. Successful.
Okay.
Right.
So that means
you're making the big money.
You've got
an organization that has doctors and lawyers all over the country. You had a lawyer on yesterday you went to school with. You are connected.
So I should be taking care of my household, and I have a husband? I'm just asking, is that what you're saying?
Well, let me ask you, if you and your husband got divorced, would he get alimony because you're making more money? All right. Well, you don't have to answer that right now. I don't want to put you on the spot. Last night, we caught up on the colorism controversy around social media star E. Kane calling out a woman with darker skin. Tonight, a different take from the Young and Suffering podcast.
Dark-skinned women have always been attractive to me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw you, it was like dark-skinned overdrive. Even in my family, we're all light-skinned. And boy, when I saw you, that was the blackest I'd ever seen. But you just look so good. Yeah, and for the record, guys, we've been married for 3.5 years, together for 6 this year. Look, people think I'm exaggerating when I say you were fresh from Jamaica. I'm talking about fresh off the plane. Like, you touch your skin, it probably still would have been hot.
Oh, gosh.
I was like, yeah. Like this, what they see now, not even close.
Right.
Like, you didn't lighten up a bit over
Yeah,
time.
yeah, of
You
course,
didn't lighten up.
definitely.
Like, but you're still dark skinned, but boy, you were black.
I was toasted, huh?
Like crisp. Like, I stuck some waffles in the toaster and forgot about it. that's and I was like, it was kind of like one of those, I hit my boy like, yo, you see her, man? And then when you smile, just super bright, like just light up a room kind of smile, right? And I was like, yeah, that's it right there. That was like
It's
the
like
big
light from heaven, halo, music in the background type
no
of
light.
thing. Oh, it was dark. It was pitch black.
Pitch black. Pitch black. Just how I was looking for it. I was like, yeah, that's it.
I had a quick relationship with a chocolate woman. Oh my God. So beautiful.
Really?
Oh my
The
goodness.
relationship, or you saying she was beautiful?
No, she was. And then the relationship was quick, but she broke up with me.
Yeah.
And then I dated another chocolate woman because she looked like kind of like her.
Oh, you have issues.
I did. I did have issues.
Oh, wow. But I love how they were showcasing black love right there. You can tell he's so in love with her.
Yeah. There's something about chocolate women. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
I mean, she's beautiful.
Absolutely. Oh, listen, they got like the chocolate skin and the little white feet and the white teeth. It's something about it.
Feet? What you mean by that?
Like they got this chocolate skin that's very dark, and then on the bottom of their feet, it's like white. It's just something. I don't know. You got to be there. It's not fetishy. It's cute. You got to be there. Excuse me. All right. We got to go to break. All right. More late night love when we come forward.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time!
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
Like, it's a spiritual moment.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin? Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Greg, come on, man, let's split a ride home.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
Welcome back to Late Night Love. I'm Don Amici with Successful Brim. You can join the conversation with the QR code right there on your screen. You can zoom into the show with video or audio, or head over to the Late Night Love YouTube page and jump in the chat. From the chat, Big J Triple X. First it's Angry Men, now Karazin. Question mark, question mark, question mark. 2 people who pushed the gender war and made money off of it. I don't know what that means. You push the gender war. I don't think Angry Man is pushing the gender war. I think he's
well, I can get why they're saying that. It's like men, who's like, oh, team us, and then women who's like, yeah, the black women, we must get our white man.
Well, Angry Man is just pushing back off the narratives again with another perspective and Karazin is just, hey, I married a white guy and that really worked for me. That's her perspective.
It's gender wars. I mean, I get why the person would say that in the chat, because that's what it is.
That's her perspective, though. Like, I don't know if it's a war. I don't think she's like, hey, don't date black men. She was just saying it didn't work for me. And you know what? Here's another option that may work for you.
It's definitely perspective because, like when she said, I go where I'm appreciated. Some people can take that like, oh, the black man doesn't appreciate you. So it is perspective, and people can see it like that. Because we didn't have enough time with her, of course, and we wanted to delve more ourselves. But from what she did say, that would spark those types of conversations.
All right, Kevin and Melissa Fredericks are a celebrity couple who talk about the time Kevin was out of work and Melissa had to step up. It's Kevin on stage. Kevin on stage.
When we were going through this transition of him not having a job, I made sure, and this is like a conscious decision, not to challenge his ego. And I think sometimes as a man, I already know he's feeling a certain way about it. And instead of like throwing salt on that wound, because he's fired, he's not making more money. And Kev is very much an alpha male. Right. And so that's already a lot. And so instead of, oh, you gonna do this, oh, you not doing this, oh, you just gonna be asleep, we can easily tear down our man and their ego and like, let me help you, put you in your place, okay? I intentionally made sure not to do that.
I didn't even know that. I appreciate it though. Wow. Because I was fragile.
Exactly. But you identified.
I was Batman. Remember when Batman got his back broken? And he was like, I was him. Like, I know I have potential to be Batman, but right now I can't even stand it. This man, life had snapped my back and threw me in a prison halfway across the world. And I was like, I'm not strong right now. I need time to heal.
Yeah, that is a wifey maturity right there.
I mean, that's what you sign up for as a wife.
What?
And as a partner.
Yeah, sometimes holding back your tongue, sometimes we already know where the deficiency is as we're trying to do something tough. And I guess rubbing salt in a wound doesn't really help.
Right, especially when somebody's going through a hard time in their lives. And for a man who's, supposed to be the provider, and now you can't fulfill, the promise that you made, and if you are really a stand-up guy and you want to do that, it does take a toll on you and, how you
And
feel.
what we need is a cheerleader or a helper. Help me at this moment. And, look at Kev on stage right now. I mean, they started at the bottom. And now, I mean, he's here. I mean, he's turned his life into he's a successful writer, successful comedian. They go on tour with an amazing stage show. They just sold a TV show to BET Plus, Churchy, that they wrote and produced for Kevin on Stage Studios. Matter of fact, Kevin on Stage Studios, he just shut down. But if it wasn't for him starting that production house and monetizing it, and they wouldn't have did Churchy and sold it to BET Plus. So his wife supported him when he had a dream. They put it to fruition, and it's here now.
Yeah, they're a team.
They're a team. They're a success story, and it's beautiful, very beautiful. Dating in your 30s. Poster Fine A Homebody says some things don't need to be discussed.
Somebody just told me, we are 30 and up, and somebody just told me that somebody asked them how many people have they slept with. I'm just like, I understand a question of like, if you got kids, how many baby daddies do you got? Cool. I understand that. But how many people have you slept with is crazy. That's an insane thing to ask someone over 30. That's weird. I do feel like as long as your numbers are under your age, you're fine. You're fine.
Your number is under your age.
I can't believe we're still having like the numbers conversation.
Well, some people's body counts are high.
But are people honest about that? Like, are people really giving these numbers?
Well, you don't want the body count to be extremely high.
I mean, I get that, but I just don't think people are being honest about it.
About their body count?
Yeah. Especially these days with, social media and ways to meet people, and then you got...
Well, what's a good body count?
I don't know what's a good... body count.
I mean, I know you and your husband had this conversation. I forgot.
No, we actually did not have a body count conversation.
You guys never said anything?
No.
I think that's a conversation you guys need to have.
No.
Wow.
I just don't see. We're together now. We want to get married. We want to have a family. Like,
For now.
I didn't get into that.
Together. Yeah, for now you're together.
That's my forever.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I understand you had it for now. But do you talk about your body count?
I mean, I don't remember it. It's somewhere 40 or 50. I don't remember.
See,
It's
I don't
up
even
there.
believe you. The fact that I don't remember 40 or 50. Like,
Well, I mean, it started when I was 14, and now I'm 47. I mean, so
so it could be more than 40 or 50.
No, it couldn't be more than 40 or 50, but it's up to about 40 or 50.
Almost 100.
It's not 100.
How do you know?
It's not. It's
Since
about 40.
14?
Since 14, it's about 40 or 50.
Okay.
Caller Volga is on the line.
Howdy, partner. My name's actually Elijah, and I'm from Utah. I got a question about...
Oh, we lost Volga. Oh, man. You can zoom into the show right there with the QR code, or go to our YouTube page because the chat is jumping off, right?
Yes. Somebody did say the feet comment was a little dang, bro. Can't believe he said that.
The feet?
When you said the feet contrast with the
feet
dark skin.
Oh, stop it. Listen, there is. I love chocolate women. Don't get
like
mad at
the
me for what
feet?
I like. Excuse me.
Maybe you just have a foot fetish.
You know what? I'm not even gonna comment on that. All right, because I don't want to get into the whole.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, people like what they like. We're not judging.
Okay. If you even have suspicions about your man, poster Britt JC says your gut is probably right.
I have even the slightest inkling that I might want to do a random search and seizure, like a request. I'm already uncomfortable. I really don't have the time to deal with certain behaviors, or even if I have an inkling that I might have to check a man's phone or do a random search and seizure. That's probably my cue to exit stage right on the relationship, just because if you're suspicious about someone's behavior, and there's probably something going on. I'm this loyal. And if I left my phone home by accident and we switched phones, I wouldn't be worried, because I wouldn't be scared or nervous about what my partner would see. I'm that loyal, and I, of course, would expect the same in return. So I'm not going to invade anyone's privacy, but if I have even the slightest inkling that I might want to do a random search and seizure, like a request, I'm already uncomfortable. I'm already ready to be out of there, because why do I feel that way? Why do I feel that way? It's not okay.
Would you let your significant other go through your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing to hide?
No, we have no problems with doing that. We're married.
You ever you see those videos where they're like, hey, swap phones with your partner on the side of the road, and then go through the call log or the text.
Yeah.
So you'd be cool doing that?
I would be 100% cool doing that.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. Nothing to hide.
Why would you put yourself in a situation? I mean, I'm married, so I don't know people dating or whatever, but I would put myself in a situation like that. Nobody should put themselves in a situation if you're married to get caught up.
That's interesting. You give them the phone, but you didn't tell them the body count. I find it very fascinating.
We didn't have a. Yeah. What was your policy
on my phone?
Yeah.
Listen, knock yourself out. If you find something, let me know.
Oh, okay.
Have
you ever got caught up?
Doing what?
Anything in your phone, like a girlfriend or wife looking through your phone?
Yeah, I've had women look through my phone.
What'd they find?
What they were looking for.
Pictures, text messages.
Usually probably me talking about them.
To To friends or
to
other
friends,
women?
yeah,
Or?
to friends.
Oh, wow.
You know, and that's probably what got me in trouble.
Wow. That may be a little worse.
Yeah, it was a little worse. It's a little,
Just
little
a
worse.
little bit.
Just a little bit.
Did she stay? Did they stay after that?
Yeah, but they were talking about me to their family, so that was a whole thing. It was a whole like.
Wow, so you just toxic.
Yeah, no, I caught them talking to their family about me,
Right.
and then
you like
I was
you like the drama.
no, I did not. You know what? Get out of here. You know what? You like triggering me, don't you?
Do I trigger you?
I'm putting a boundary up here. No more triggering me.
Okay.
All right, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Texas.
All right, what's up, Jeffrey? How you
Oh,
doing?
People from Texas.
Yeah. What's up, Don? What's up, Successful?
Hi.
Yeah, but I wanted to talk about the body count thing, but first, that's a crazy line, Don, about the what they're looking for. Unfortunately, that's bars.
That's bars.
But yeah, what she was saying about dating like in your 30s, because I'm kind of pushing that right now.
Uh-huh.
And just like the contrast from, I guess, being younger and dating was maybe something that you ask about, like, oh, what's your body count? But I kind of feel that, like, you don't really ask that as you get older, because it's like, whatever, you know, it's not like you can change it type thing. You know what I mean? So,
right.
But
like
you don't have that conversation like, hey, how many people?
Not really. Like, if we were just like, I don't know, maybe like having a drink and just joking around, it might come up, but it's not really something that I actually personally care about like anymore as much as I used to when I was like younger. That was something I'd dwell on, you know,
we will ask like, have you had any STDs? You know, things like that.
Well, because that's the line. That's where I'm getting to with the body count. I don't care like how many people you've been with. I'm just more like concerned of.
Well, get
like,
straight to that question. 'Cause
more
that's the
about
question
safety.
I asked. Get straight to that.
Yeah, because I'm like I don't you know. Well, I mean the body count is kind of like I'm trying to like get to that in a roundabout way, like.
Go straight.
You know, if it's been like 5 people, then I'm kind of like, okay, maybe you.
Well, no, because it could be that one. It only takes one.
I don't know. You know.
I did want to comment on the ending part that she said, like, as long as it's under your age, like, we're fine. And I feel like, like, that's not, you can't really, like, put that on there. If you don't care to begin with, like, you can't put that, oh, but as long as it's not this. You know what I mean? I feel like that doesn't mesh well together.
So so what?
Either you're cool with it or not.
So you got a girlfriend?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, but when you do get a girlfriend, how do you address the like the whole "are you safe" type situation? Do you do the like let's go get tested?
Oh, I mean, like, not necessarily, because like when I get a girlfriend, it's more like we've been dating for a while, so we kind of feel each other out. It's not so much like, oh, are we gonna get together? Okay, we got to get tested or something. You know what I mean? It's kind of let it flow. Like, just I don't know. It's just it depends on the situation, but it's not like an actual full on conversation. Like, hey, like, do you have this disease that doesn't go away ever?
Jeffrey, it sounds like you're doing the wing it method, which is what I've been used to, just winging it.
I just like going with the flow.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the wing it method. You know, I'm just like, hey, you know, you seem like you look okay, and
oh no, that sounds so unhealthy.
What did you get tested?
We talk about that. When was the last time you got tested? Like, you got to have those conversations.
That's a conversation, but it's not. I'm not going to ask her straight up, hey, do you have this disease? No.
I think that's a little like vulgar. I'm not vulgar, but that's just a little too abrasive, I should say.
Yeah, it's just a different way of doing it. But yeah, I definitely talk about it.
All right.
But
all right. Well, there you go. All right, Jeffrey. Hey, thanks for the call. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, there you go, Jeffrey from Texas.
Yeah, it's a lot of Texas people.
All right, so we got to be. Hey, when's the last time you've been tested? That's the way you approach that.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Glad we're teaching you something.
When's the last time you get tested? Never.
Ugh.
All right, more late night love when we come forward.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time.
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
Like it's a spiritual moment.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick during the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Welcome back to Late Night Love. I'm Don Amici with Successful Brim. You can join the conversation. All you got to do is scan the QR code or head over to our Late Night Love YouTube page. There's a link there. You can also join the chat and get in on the conversation. Poster, hello. A.M. Burb is concerned about toxic masculinity starting at a very young age.
Something that we're not talking about when it comes to these podcasts with all these angry men on them is how they're affecting little boys that are growing up and growing into their masculinity because of the pervasiveness of social media. I didn't think about this or notice it until last week when I was doing some work with some middle school kids. And there was an interaction between a little boy and a little girl. And the little girl, middle school girl, she got red and she got flustered, and I was like, that's interesting. But when I dug a little deeper and asked more questions about their interaction, one of the little boys came out and said, well, boys are smarter and boys know what to do. And he said it with his whole chest. And I was like, is this some like middle school misogyny? And I spent a few days with these kids, and based on their interactions, the tension in the class has everything to do with these boys wanting to be in control and better than and dominant over the girls.
Wow.
Is that toxic masculinity?
It is at a young age, and they're learning it at home.
It sounds like regular schoolyard bravado.
And they grow up to be men who are having maybe anger issues,
Or
not
they
able
grow
to
out of
express
it.
themselves.
Oh, they grow out of it?
You don't grow out of that. You have to learn in order to grow
You're
how
right.
to do things the correct way.
They grow out of it. Do you still do the things you used to do when you were 2 or
Those
3
are
or 4 or 5?
Those are different things. He's instilling, or they're getting taught.
I remember these schoolyard taunts. Boys are better than girls. No, they're not. Yes, they are. No, they're not. We're better than you. I remember that on
That
the
didn't
school.
sound like that.
And I remember that, right? We're better. The girls are better. You know, the boys are better. I remember that.
That sounds very surface level.
That's what it
she
is.
explained did not sound like that. It sounds like they're learning something at home about how to treat women and how.
Oh, let me guess. They're learning it from their pops. Now
Grandpa,
look here, little
cousins,
Jimmy,
big
when you go to
brother.
school, you tell those little girls that you're better than them. That's what's happening?
They're seeing it probably. They're seeing how
I think you're
the family,
thinking too deep.
But when you go to therapy, when you have these conversations, it all starts in your childhood. So what did you see at home? What was the normal conversations like between your parents? Did you see them fight? Did you see them argue? What does healthy love look like to you?
So they take that and they're going to school and they're saying,
Yes,
boys,
kids are impressionable.
my dad is yelling at my mom, so boys are better than girls.
Kids are like that.
I don't even
That's
think
the reality of it.
I think you're crazy.
Okay.
I think that's crazy.
What do I know?
All right, Isabella on the Zoom. Hi, Isabella. I think we talked to you, was it earlier this week or last week? Isabella from California.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
You talked to me earlier this week.
Now, if I remember correctly, Isabella was having a conflict here, Successful.
Okay.
She is in a relationship with her boyfriend who is, I guess, getting consumed with magic. And
Like voodoo?
She didn't say voodoo. She said magic, black magic.
Black magic.
And she's in the church, and she's conflicted because she's feeling like he's using the magic to kind of manipulate her, and she wants, she doesn't want to anything to do with that.
So you feel like you're under a spell or something?
Yeah, essentially, it's this very tricky situation where I don't know, after like the previous column that I had, I like realized that I had to break up with my boyfriend. It was this big conversation between me and my friends, and of course, like like I really utilized a lot of what this show had taught me through this, odd implication of like me being on Zoom and everything. And I realized that I had to break up with my boyfriend. So I broke up with him, honestly, like the next day because you guys were so influential and I felt like so seen. So I broke up with him. And ever since then, I've been experiencing the craziest phenomenon. And I don't know whether it's like related to the black magic or not. I'm like, I feel because I like walk the path of Christ, I feel like it's like aligned with him. But like I've been getting like heavy nosebleeds and like I've been having really crazy dreams and I don't know what to do about it.
Have you consulted a doctor? Have you?
A doctor?
Yeah, you should probably, because you're talking about like nosebleeds and having physical, reactions to this. So you should probably.
Do you
contact
think
a
it's
doctor.
do you think it's the magic?
I don't know anything about black magic, so I can't speak to that. But if you are, having any physical pains, you should go to a doctor.
See, that's like the tricky situation where I consulted my like primary care physician and I talked to him about this. And honestly, like as far as the weather is concerned, as far as like so many things are concerned, I should not be having nosebleeds. It's like I've never had nosebleeds in my entire life. And I'm quite frightened. I know it sounds silly, but like I'm quite frightened by like this like act of like magic over my life. I've never had nosebleeds. I don't like the area that I live in California is like not prone to being like quite dry. So it's like I've had nosebleeds along with like some other like health issues, and also my car got broken into again. I think I mentioned this.
Didn't we attribute that to you just living in Oakland and in Northern California?
I don't live in Oakland. I live in like the South Bay.
Oh, well, okay. Well, same thing.
I suppose so, but it's like I don't know, like your car getting broken into like 3, almost 4 times. Like,
it's Northern California.
But I got a whole new car.
Well, I mean, it is Northern California.
I don't know. I don't know what to do because I feel like my like boyfriend is or my ex-boyfriend is like trying to like manipulate me back into this relationship that I have like exited from.
No, it sounds like you're far from it because you can't be manipulated and you're able to pick up on what he's doing. So just really glad to hear that you're growing from this.
Yeah, grow from it, stay, and keep us posted and let us know and just stay strong, okay?
I guess my question to you both is like, do you guys believe in like mystical forces? Because this is something I truly believe in because like, of course I believe in like Christ and I go to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
Like I do believe in like demons and I do believe that like my ex-boyfriend is like engaging with demons. So like, what do you guys think about this? I just need an outside opinion.
I don't think that it's that deep. I don't think that there's anything magical that's happening like that. I think that there's a lot of crime up in California right now. And I think that it's a coincidence that your car is getting broken into, or somebody might be targeting you. I don't want to get too deep into that as far as what it might be, but listen, I'm glad you broke up. I want to thank you for the call and thank you for the update. Okay. All right. Let's get over to the chat. Love a deal. That is wild. Taking your spouse's phone sounds like an issue of trust. Reading text between your spouse's friends is intrusive. Friends do share confidential info, and that has nothing to do with a spouse. All right. I love that. All right. More late night love when we come forward.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick during the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Welcome back to Late Night Love. I'm Donna Ricci with Successful Brim. You can zoom into the show with a QR code on your screen or head over to the chat on our YouTube page. We talk about love and relationships and sex all throughout the show from 9 until 11, Monday through Friday, Pacific Standard Time. So join the conversation. Being a family provider isn't a free pass from being a father or husband. Poster upset from the talk explains.
Let me look right in this camera and talk to men real quick. You're a dad. You have made your wife a mother. Let me tell you something. You do not get to say that you going to work is you being a father. That's you being a worker. You going to work isn't you being a husband. That's you being an employee of somebody's business. You would be that if you didn't have a wife and if you didn't have kids. So stop coming home from work and making your wife and your kids feel like you going to work was you being a father and you going to work was you being a husband. Because that's not what you just did. You went to go work for wages. When you come home, you still need to be a husband. When you come home, you still need to be a father. Now, yes, you might be tired. I've been tired. Yes, you may be emotionally drained. I've been emotionally drained. Take the time that you need to reset and then give your wife some undivided attention and give your kids some undivided attention. Nobody's asking you to clock back in for 8 hours. Ain't nobody trying to be inconsiderate. But don't come home and then have your phone in your hand and can't make eye contact. Don't come home and give your wife 2 sentences about your entire day. Maybe you don't want to talk about work. Talk about your feelings. I'm just saying, ain't nobody going to be giving out no certificates and no ribbons and no crowns for you going to work. You giving that man 12 hours and giving your wife 2 minutes and want her to be appreciative? Man, stop.
Let's be a little appreciative of the work that he's doing to provide for the family. Let's not minimize that.
I don't think that he was minimizing
that's the whole thing that he was doing was minimizing that. But I do want to say that he does have a point where that you do need to be present when you are home.
Yeah, of course. Balance is
Yes,
key.
but you need to take a moment though before you step into that house to reset yourself.
Of course.
And that may be maybe take an hour before you go home. Maybe
Where you going an hour? What you mean before?
Well, there's a lot of stress that you are carrying from the workday.
Okay.
And so you need to figure out maybe the ride home is a decent, that's stress also. It all depends. But you need to find a place to kind of like meditate before you walk back into your house, because that's another source of work that you're going to have to do.
Right, to mentally prepare.
Mentally prepare. Maybe the gym is a place that you can go before you go home to kind of
a lot of people do that.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of just like zone out for a little bit, rest your mind, you know what I'm saying? Before you engage your family.
Well, yeah, because you can't take care of anybody else until you take care of yourself first. But you do want to make sure that you are giving your all to your family, just like you're giving your all to your employer or your employees, whatever. But you just want to make sure that you're capable of being the husband or wife in order to keep your household, because you can have all the money, have all the cars and material things, but if at the end of the day you're not able to keep your family healthy and happy, what are you accomplishing?
I do think it's important to take a break between
of course.
Take a break between the two for you, and don't go directly from work to work.
Right, especially if you're self-aware. Like, it also depends on the person, because some people can feel like home is my self-care, is my sanctuary. I need to see my wife. I need to see my husband. That makes me feel good after a long day at work, having my kid run to my arms when I get off. It depends on the person. Like you said, somebody may have to go to the gym. Another person may need that hug from their spouse. After a long day at work, I just need my husband to give me a hug. And that's me resetting. So it just depends.
Yeah, it does. It all does depend. But meditation. Do what you need to do to clear that
works for
head.
you. That's good. You are self-aware of what you need. So everybody should be self-aware of what they need in order to make sure that they're present at home.
Yeah. What do you do to meditate?
For me, I work out.
Okay.
I listen to music. I journal.
Oh, look at you, Sexy Red for an hour, huh?
I love Sexy Red. I love all different types of music. I love country music.
Sexy Red has a country album?
I love reggaeton.
Reggaeton, okay.
Afro beats.
Afro beats, okay. All right, I love it. I love it all.
A little bit of everything.
All right, a little bit of everything, okay. On the Uncut podcast from the UK, a relationship horror story.
My fiancé and I have been together for over 3 years. He proposed to me in December. We were happily planning our wedding until everything suddenly went left. Out of nowhere, he received a message from a woman he had a brief fling with several years ago, long before we met.
Okay.
The message said, "You have a child." Naturally, we were both shocked. He explained at the time she told him that she was pregnant. He admits that he told her he wasn't ready to be a father. Not long after, she told him she was having a trigger warning abortion.
Okay.
He believed her, and that was the end of it until now. She came back saying that she never had the abortion and that he is in fact the father of the child.
You are the father.
You are the father. She even sent photos, and to be honest, the child is a spitting image of him.
Yeah.
It was impossible to ignore. We've since done the DNA test, and it is confirmed that he is the father.
Of course.
This entire situation has turned our lives upside down. It's been emotionally exhausting and heartbreaking. We've had a vision for our future and for our own family, our own timeline, and now it all feels uncertain. I put the wedding on hold because I'm certainly torn. On one hand, I love this man. He's been an amazing partner throughout the relationship. But on the other hand, I never imagined starting a life with someone who already has a child with someone else, especially under these circumstances.
Wow, that's
What do you do?
a lot.
What do you do?
I mean, that is a lot for somebody to take in. Like, mentally, you've planned your future with this person, and now there's a whole different reality. So you have to, of course, speak to your partner and be honest. You can't just, appease your partner because you want to make them feel happy and feel safe. you have to really look within yourself and say, can I put up with this? Is this something that I'm able to go through?
How unfair, though, to say I'm going to have an abortion and then, like, psych. You know,
yeah, it happens.
You know, and then you know, not wanting to be a father, that's another thing. And now you're a dad, that's another thing. And then now there's like a child in the picture at the same time. So now
innocent child,
an innocent child into the picture, and then like it's just one big messy mess that's happening all the way around. A wedding, a child, an acrimonious situation. What do you do? How would you counsel somebody like this?
Well, definitely, like I said earlier, you know, the individually, they're both dealing with something, you know, like the man, I'm a father. I didn't even know I had a child, you know, and then again, the child is innocent. You don't want the child to be fatherless just because of, you know, a decision that the mom made without him. And then you have this wife or a future wife that you promised to, you know.
I guess you can give the child up for adoption, maybe.
What?
Right?
The mom already has the child, so he can't just be like, hey, go give the child up for adoption.
Well, you
It
can.
don't work like that.
Well, I mean, you can.
That's not, I don't.
You know, just.
What would you do in that situation if you were about to get married and then you found out the woman that you were with before her is pregnant, was pregnant and kept the child?
I would slowly walk backwards, very quietly out the door. Just very quietly. Just shh. Just very quietly. I don't know. I would be very stunned. I would desperately sit there and talk to my bride-to-be and be like, we'll get through this. If you love me and you love us, this shouldn't deter our plans to get married. This is something that we'll be able to work through.
You don't know if it shouldn't, because it may. Like, she probably got with you because you didn't have any children.
Well, so with me, if we can't make it past this, then we don't deserve to get married.
Yeah, that's everybody's personal preference.
Yeah, I mean, and that really is like, that's a big, to me, that's a sign of like, this is a hurdle for us.
This is,
but
to me, this is bigger than a hurdle.
Well, I mean, but what's bigger than marriage though? Like, if
add a child, this is a child out of wedlock that nobody knew about. It's not that it's your fault, but nobody knew about, and you have a vision for your future. It's not fair for you to say that, well, that means you're not ready for marriage. No, you're not my person.
I'm committing my life to you. I'm gonna commit my life to you. You're gonna commit your life to me, and there's a bump in the road at the beginning. So I'm still the same person that you agreed to marry. So you don't want to marry me now?
I feel like everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I can understand why somebody wouldn't want to go through the marriage experiencing something like this.
Well, then leave. Get out. I don't want to marry you anyway.
Okay.
No, I mean, to me, that would be a sign. If you have reservations about this whole situation, about marrying me, and if you were going to marry me, this popped up, and you're having reservations about it, I would call the wedding off and walk away from this whole situation.
I wouldn't see it as, I wouldn't feel no type of way. If the person wouldn't want to be with me because of that, I totally understand. And I would walk away if I didn't want to be a part of that.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
All right, more Late Night Love when we come forward.
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time.
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's split a ride home.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Welcome back to Late Night Love. I'm Don Amici with Successful Brim, and throughout the show we talk about a lot of relationships and a lot of love, and we play a lot of videos here. So you can send us your videos also. You can make them on your phone. You can send them to Late Night Love at foxsoul.tv. That's Late Night Love at foxsoul.tv. We love to see your clips. You can make them on your phone, make them brief, and make them clean, and send them to us right off of your phone. If you see something that you think we should play here on the show, send them to us. Late Night Love at foxsoul.tv. Poster, I Am a Girl Too says, stop calling men who date younger women predators.
It really bothers me that women make this conversation around calling men predators for wanting to date younger women, when we know as women that we don't want to date men who are our age. We want to date older men. So it feels like, again, this competition, jealousy, that the women who are so bothered by men who choose to date the younger women and they get those men that they want, you don't like it because you're not in that league. He's not looking for you. He's looking for women who are younger. We're not talking about men who are looking for little girls, right? But she's too young to date a man who is older, but she can get drunk at 21 years old. You'll give her the drink. Your little sister, your little cousin, you'll give her a drink. But if she comes home with a man she's 21 and he's 29, you got a problem with it. Why? You let her drink? Where we know she can make some really poor choices based on getting drunk. Why do you have a problem with it? When you are still, again, you're dating up. Men date down. It is what it is. Let's stop calling men predators. Let's stop using that words for black men especially. It's harmful to call a man a predator for dating younger women. We got to stop, ladies. We have to stop. Seriously.
So this is a very, very interesting conversation. I think it gets a little creepy when the grooming starts.
Right, exactly.
But when does the grooming start?
Well, I mean, there's different situations. You know, it could be somebody who was like a godparent or a friend of the family. You know, it's always somebody in close proximity of the family. That's grooming, you know, because how do you know like a child?
I don't know. If I'm 25 and you're 18, is that...
I don't think that 18 and 25. I don't think that
30?
Counts.
Yeah, 30 and 18. Like we were talking about the Howard thing earlier.
Right, like what they were talking about.
Well,
like,
Anaya was her name, right?
Anaya.
Exactly. If I'm like 30 and I go to Howard and I'm like
talking to a freshman that could be 17 or 18.
Or 18, an 18-year-old freshman, is that am I considered a predator then?
I mean, what are the intentions? If you're intentionally going there to hook up with a freshman or...
But she's 18 though. Like...
That's a predator. That's really
but maybe I'm looking for like a wife.
You're looking for an 18-year-old wife?
I mean, maybe I'm looking to date a wife, you know.
Well, it's
see, but like it gets weird though. Like she's 18 though. Like how am I praying?
Because you're going for a specific age.
But she's 18 though. Like to me, a predator is preying on someone like under the age of consent.
No, that's a pedophile.
Right, but I'm preying on someone under the age of consent, right?
Yeah, but as a predator, you are preying, which is mean you have intentions, you have your mindset on trying to go after somebody with the intentions of getting what you want out of them. So you're going there as an adult to a college campus, talking to teenagers. you're preying on them. That's a predator.
Like R. Kelly. Reminded of R. Kelly. Well, what you mean by teenagers?
Exactly.
No, but I mean, like, 18, 19, is that's still too young?
That's your intentions on finding the 18 and the 19-year-old.
If I'm 30, 18 and 19 years is too young, even though they're legal.
Definitely too young.
Definitely too young.
That's strange.
But women date. Okay, but I'm 40 and 25. Is that?
Well, some people can argue that 25 is almost
like when does it not become weird? So 30 and 18, that's a 12-year gap, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 40 and 28, that's not weird?
It depends, honestly, on the people and the intention. So I wouldn't say if that's weird or not. It is like, what would a 40-year-old have in common with, somebody that age?
From the chat, Jefe of all trades, a 29-year-old dating a 21-year-old isn't a predator, and calling someone such takes away from the meaning of the word and disrespects actual victims of real predators. Like, if the 12-year-old gap is... I think, is it because it's a teen? Is that what it is? Because it's close to teenager?
I mean, we just got to call it like it is. Yeah, that sounds weird hearing teen.
All right, so it's the teen part that makes it weird.
Yeah, of course, a teenager.
Okay, so 40 and 28 is not predator then.
In my opinion, because I think it's all opinion based. I wouldn't say, oh, that's weird, that's a predator.
50
for that age.
50 and 28. All right,
Sound
love
like
a
you
deal.
paying bills.
Oh, so now it's okay.
That's what it sounds like. That's what that sounds like.
I'm starting to get the picture here. I'm starting to get the
What else
picture
would
here.
you have in common?
At the end of the day, 18, 19, just because it's right around the teenage part, that makes it kind of weird. But
And when you're going to look for it,
when they start moving
praying.
into the 20s, getting in the 20s, then it starts becoming a sugar baby.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay. All right, love a deal. Age between 21 and 29 is not a predator. 21-year-old young lady dating a 52-year-old man is a predator. 21-year-old young lady dating a 52-year-old man is a predator. So the 21-year-old lady is a predator? The man? I'm thinking the young lady's the predator over there. That poor 52-year-old man, he doesn't know what's going on.
She's getting them SSI checks.
Yeah, no. Look, Bill Belichick, right? Bill Belichick he barely knows what's going on. He's just listen. Jen J, the age is not the issue. The intention is the issue.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's what I was saying. The intention.
But
it's not like you were at a bar and you didn't know our age and y'all just had great conversation. Oh, by the way, I'm 23. Oh, I'm 39 or 40. Like.
But then everybody's intention is all jacked up then.
No, they're going to a college campus. We were talking about the Howard
They have
student.
whole websites dedicated to women looking for older men to take care of them. What is that about?
Yeah, that's both of them are concerned. They know what they're getting into.
All right, Jefe of all trades on the chat. I don't think 40 and 28 is weird because people graduate college and in their career for 5 or 6 years is 28. The intention is I want your money and I want your sex.
Some people.
Right, but so the intention is the exchange of goods and services?
It just depends on if that's what they're signing up for.
This is not making any sense. None of this is making.
Because it's preference.
None of it's making any sense. Jack Devani, anything more than 6 years is weird, in my opinion. Okay. All right. This is why I don't date. This is exactly the reason why I don't date. It's weird. Everything's weird. You don't know what the rules are. You're 29.
But you say you have a few in rotation. So if that's not considered...
Hey, I don't have a rotation.
Oh. Dang, that was just last weekend.
No. What I said was I had dinner with someone who used to be in rotation. That's what I said.
Oh, I see what you did there.
All right. Thank you for everybody in the chat. More late night love when we come forward.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And you interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, besties!
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time!
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Welcome back to Late Night Love. I'm Don Amici with Successful Brim. From the chat, BR says statistically a large age gap will divorce due to a lack of things in common, as we were talking about last video, saying that we need to stop calling men who date younger women predators. And what is a predator exactly is what we were talking about, because what defines that? Successful says anybody dating, an older man dating somebody who's in their teens, 18, 19.
Well, I said intention. Well, that's creepy and weird. But also intentions when we're talking about going to the college campus to seek out a teenager. That's a predator.
When you say teenager,
well, we just talked.
You give the you give the intent like underage.
But that's what
teenager.
18, 19. That's a teenager.
Well,
that's
but you make it sound like it's an underage teenager.
I don't make it sound like that. A teenager is a teenager.
Well, no, there's a legal age teenager
So I
and
have
there's
to
an
add
underage
the
teenager.
Word legal. I never heard anybody say, "Hi, I'm a legal teenager."
Yeah, there you go.
No,
Look at
nobody
you. You
says
just did that. Thank you. Good for
Nobody
you.
says that.
All right. While black men aren't the largest group in prisons, they are vastly overrepresented based on the U.S. population. Poster Queen Erin I works in prisons and has this word for women whose partners are in prison.
I want to talk to women who are dealing with a man who is incarcerated. So currently I work at the prison, and prior to that I worked at the jail. I do mental health in prisons and jails. There is not a possible way you can get the same person back that you had before they went in, because the treatment that they receive in there, the environment, the entire, all of it all together, there is no way for you to come out of that situation not traumatized. There is no way that you have not been negatively and deeply impacted by that environment. And I'm not just talking about SA or getting into fights and this and that. I'm talking about being dehumanized. I'm talking about being treated like an animal, seeing all kinds of ungodly things. There is no possible way that the man who went into prison is the same man that's coming home. And women, you're setting yourself up for a world of hurt if you think that that's what's going on. It doesn't matter if he was just there for a short amount of time. It doesn't take long when you have been dehumanized and traumatized for that to sit in your spirit, and it's very difficult to get it out.
Did you ever think about dating a guy in jail or prison?
Well, I do want to say this, though. So this is exactly what I have my master's in and what I'm getting my doctorates in, clinical forensic psychology. And she's making very valid points. Being in prison does affect your mental health drastically.
You're institutionalized. You're locked up.
Right.
But there are programs in prison, right?
Some do. So I have worked with different organizations, but I also work with different reentry homes. And the guys that we spoke to said that they were not getting mental health treatment while they were incarcerated. My organization actually helped them get resources to get in touch with therapists. But while they were inside, like they do have programs where some people are, but there are some people that are not getting the treatment that they need in prisons. And when they get out and they're in these reentry homes, they may not be getting help
Were they
either.
paroled out, or did they just serve their time and then got out?
Well, either way, you still need mental health after going through something like that. You have PTSD, you got depression. It's a lot of different things, or it could trigger what mental health issues that are already there.
I don't know about the California system. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and the state of Louisiana would show their parole hearings. And you go before 3 or 4 panel of judges, and they talk about the crime, and they also talk about the classes that they have inside the correctional facility. And in Louisiana, they have programs and classes that you have to take before you can even get considered to be considered for parole. Living in balance, anger management, things like that. Now, I don't know how these play on mental health, but I think these are meant to help people who have issues, whether it's theft, whether it's fighting or violence or anything like that, try to balance these things out. I don't know if that's something like that in the California State institution. But there are classes there. I don't know how great they work. And I don't know if that's what they were talking about with mental health. But it was interesting to hear that in Louisiana.
Different states have different programs, but, getting the individual help that you need, either while you're in there or when you are released or in a reentry home, is very essential, especially when you're trying to transition from a life in prison to life now as a citizen, or trying to become, back into, citizenship.
Well, the people that you talked to, what did they say? They were just like warehoused and they were just serving the time?
Some people said they never spoke to a therapist. Some people say, oh, how do you get a therapist? It's sad, Some people do get the help, but then there's still people out there that are not getting the help. So, when you get into these relationships with people who are released from prison and they have not gotten the help that they need, they have had exposure to violence, they may suffer from PTSD or depression, or like I said earlier, they have, mental health issues that have now been triggered due to their experience in prison, does affect you as a person that's dating them and your family, your children, whoever's around you.
No. Can a man get right after prison trauma?
Can a man get what?
Right after prison trauma?
Get right?
Yeah, I mean, can he fix himself after prison trauma?
Oh, like rehabilitated?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on your mental health issue. Of course, everybody can, get better if you get the help that you need. Some people require medication. Some people just require talk therapy. It just depends on, what you need.
Yeah. Where do you stand on medication?
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
I can't make any sense either way, because some people it helps, some people it doesn't.
Yeah, it all depends on the person at the end of the day. Yeah. From the chat, Hefe of all trades, I agree with that. Like I agree with that. Like I can't. Hefe, you're gonna have to you're gonna spell check, brother. I agree. I agree with that. Some happens in the military, not comparing the lifestyle or honor, all that, or veterans and prisoners, but I completely agree it changes you. Okay.
That's true, because veterans, they experience PTSD, all the things that they see, it definitely changes their outlook on life and affects their mental health and their families as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting. I hope one day we either get a good governor, or it used to be called the Department of Corrections, now it's the Department of Justice. I really hope that we really get someone that really goes into our prison systems and really does the reworking of it and really focuses psychologically trying to fix the trauma that a lot of these people are in. I think some you can't fix. I think some people are just violent offenders that there's no help for.
Right.
And
They'll continue to recidivate.
They deserve to be behind bars because they're just violent people. But I think there's a vast majority of individuals who needed to be behind bars to kind of break this cycle that they're in, who need psychological treatment and psychotherapy, and they could use this time behind bars, sitting with a therapy, reworking, going through the trauma in their lives, and figuring out how to become a better human being. You know, I mean, they got all the time in the world. I look at Blueface, who is in jail on a parole violation or probation violation, and even the time that he's been in jail, because somebody went and interviewed him, he looks more mature in the 6, 7, 8, 9 months he's been behind bars.
Oh, wow.
Compared to like him being out on the streets.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, more late night love when we come forward.
Hey, it's your girl, Karazin Sanchez, and the Nightcap is the late night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 11 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit hard and matter most. Here on The Factor, we cover news with grit and authenticity. We challenge the status quo and get down to real talk and bold discussions. Join us as we amplify the voices that disrupt, inspire, and lead the charge for change. Your story is power, and we're here to unleash it.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored. New episodes weeknights at 10 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up. You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Welcome back to Late Night Love. I'm Donna Michu with Successful Brim. We're talking about rehabilitation of men when they get out of prison. Jen J says the family outside of prison needs to be the mental health just as much as the prisoner. Yeah, but you know that they're not trained staff, but there definitely needs to be a support system when they get out of prison. You know, poster Tyler A. Hunter has a question about dating etiquette.
All right, I got a hypothetical question. Me and my friends were talking about this. You ask a woman on a date. She says yes. You set the date. You give her the time, the location, and the day of the date. She says, that's great. You say, that's great. I can't wait to see you. She says, I'm excited to see you too. 2 days later, the day of the date, you show up at the location at the time. She's not there. You hit her up. And she says, oh my God, I'm so sorry. The date got away from me. We never confirmed. So I didn't know if the date was happening. The question is, do you have to confirm the date with the date if you set the date? Let me know.
Yes.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say if a couple of days have gone and we really haven't really touched bases, especially if we don't really have that like closeness of like a real vibe relationship. Yeah. Hey, just want to make sure we're on, or hey, can't wait to see you tomorrow night.
Something just to make sure.
You know what I'm saying? Looking forward to seeing you tonight, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, definitely, because people have lives and they get busy and they just want to make sure that everything that they put into play to make sure that this day happens, you know, it's going to happen.
Yeah, so definitely. That's the etiquette. Yeah, make sure. Because
you have a date this weekend?
I have a date with my bed. Absolutely.
Who's going to be in there?
Nobody but me and my cat. That's it. That's it.
Sounds
He'll
sad.
come walk on me in the morning asking for water.
Wow.
Well, that's his way of letting me know he needs water or he wants to get out of the room. He just starts walking on me with his...
That sounds so sad.
It is sad, but listen, what are you going to do? The late night lounge, the listening lounge is coming up next. You going to be anywhere this weekend?
Yes, we have a football tournament at Hermosa Beach. We're going to be out there with my nonprofit, the Minority Psychology Network, and Romeo K-Day, so it's going to be great.
All right,
And
listen.
mental health resources.
Well, all right. Well, thank you for joining us this week. I appreciate you.
Yes, I look forward to being back.
All right, the listening lounge is next on Fox Soul. My name is Don Amici. This has been Late Night Love. We're here Monday through Friday between 9 and 11 Pacific Standard Time. Goodbye.
Welcome to Fox Soul's The Listening Lounge, where you come to find your favorite new audiobooks that will leave you inspired and wanting more. I'm your host, Derica Abraham. This week, we are showcasing Oludera Adeo's Self-Care for Black Women, where she details 150 self-care exercises